Yeah,
Yeah,
people are
what's up?
just yeah, people are just so negative, man.
Oh,
Yes, they are.
Yeah,
well,
Josh.
I think that's the big appeal of social media is that you can go on there and be as negative and foul mouthed and just disrespectful, and you
yeah.
know that that person's never going to be able to find you.
Bunch of telephone tough guys.
That's right.
Yeah,
Cyber warriors.
How are
yeah.
you guys doing?
Keyboard commandos.
Yeah.
Shit,
Fine, Dave. How the fuck are you?
doing fucking great, man. We all three of us were together at the same place for the first time in like 2 years.
I know.
Yeah, this is true.
That is true. We had dinner together.
It was good, man.
It was good.
It was good seeing you, fucking assholes.
Was it?
No, it was terrible.
I mean, it was good seeing Josh.
Fucked up.
Damn.
Damn.
But
Yeah,
hey, that's not why we're here.
No, it is not.
you jerk offs finally got to meet I say new girlfriend, but the girlfriend.
Yeah, I know. It's like time flies when you're in quarantine.
Yeah, time flies when you're fighting the goddamn coronavirus.
Yeah.
Dude, I cannot wait until like 5 years from now when I'm eligible for the vaccine, and then we can hang out again.
Totally.
Yeah. But
But on a brighter note, though, Jason, what are we talking about this week?
Bro, this week we're doing the cereal bracket.
the
It was
cereal.
postponed for a week. It was postponed for 1 week because Dave's a loser. Oh, and
God
then we
damn.
had the big freeze.
I'm a
Dave,
loser.
Dave
But
wouldn't.
more
Dave
importantly,
wouldn't.
Dave's a fucking loser.
Yeah, Dave wouldn't weather the elements to go get Raisin Bran Crunch and whatever other cereal he hadn't tried.
But
That's why this podcast ain't gonna make any money, Dave, because you're not committed to the cause.
I'm not committed to going
Putting your
down-
life in danger.
breaking into a closed HEB and going.
Dope. I mean, like all the power was out. It's like all the cameras were out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They wouldn't have known.
All right.
that's right.
All right. Hey, you know what? That's fine. That's fine. What are we doing next week for the YouTube crowd? Let them know now.
Hit him
Breaking
with the judge.
down the number 96 movie on AFI's top 100 list, "Do the Right Thing."
Josh, you seen
Little
it
Spike
already.
Lee joint. Yeah, I watched it this morning. They give you the quick rundown here. Not too bad. I
Not
liked
too
it.
bad. All right.
Would it get just the not the three guys one mic, but the Josh Brewer seal of approval there?
You'll have to tune in next week, Dave.
See,
I
that's a
knew
good
it.
setup.
I see.
That's a good setup.
That's good. Good. Well,
I have.
Dave
I've
lobbed
only
that
seen it.
softball.
Yeah, I've only seen it once. What year did that come out?
1989.
Okay, so I must have seen it in either 90 or 91. I was not a fan back then, but I was like in high school at that time. So I'm curious to see what adult Tsunami.
I would
Think
tell
so.
you, it was nice watching something that felt a lot more contemporary.
Gotcha. Like normal.
So, yeah, after watching a black and white movie and Ben-Hur and an animated movie and then a movie supposedly set in this dystopian future, like it was nice to just kind of exist like in the moment.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
but
Even if it was the 90s.
Yeah.
well,
Mhm.
y'all want to kick this thing off? Jason, you want to hit us with that intro?
I'll try. Hopefully I can get this on one shot.
All right. Well, I won't make it easy for you.
Oh, well, damn.
If he could see our webcam, then I could definitely make life more difficult for him.
Absolutely, but my internet is so trash that I have to turn your cameras off.
Small update. I do want to get an actual picture of you posted here so the YouTube crowd can see it. So
Wait, that is me.
an updated version because you've drank a few souls since.
Yes,
then.
I have.
You
That's
actually
true.
have skin now. So
Yes,
Yeah.
I did flesh out some hues of color.
I could just put a picture of Devin Townsend up there, and I don't think even people that know you wouldn't know the difference. But
shit.
But I'd rather get an actual headshot.
All right. Well, maybe soon.
All right.
Maybe I'll even dress up for the occasion.
Hey, we'll see.
All right, we ready?
I wait
Do
on you.
it.
All right. Hello, and welcome to Three Guys and a Mic presents their bracket, a 16-team breakfast cereal bracket style tournament elimination to finally determine once and for all the best breakfast cereal. I'm your co-host Jason Tsunami, along with
A human dart.
David Disaster.
nice
Oh, God damn, Jason, that was a long fucking intro. How many words? How many words could you cram in there?
I mean, I had to make it definitive. Like I didn't want there to be any doubt.
I like how we broke the cereals into teams. That's good.
Yeah, 16 teams of cereal. I was like, what is this guy talking about? But whatever. Hey,
the worst part is that I wrote this down and I put down there and I wrote it down and I started reading it and I was like, what the fuck am I saying?
I like there was that pause and you're like, there bracket.
Yeah,
dude,
that was me reading my handwriting going,
did you write a bunch of E's like all
yes,
in a row?
I did.
Oh my God, what a child.
Oh man, I think that's the first time Fossils one shot any of these intros, man.
I don't know. I want to say
the last
I
time
think
you
there's
tried to
been
do
one or
one,
two others.
the last time you tried to do one, it was like
It was bad.
It was like a 5-minute ordeal.
It was like 5 takes.
Yeah.
But hey,
but if you couldn't tell by the rambling of the fossil there, we're here to talk about motherfucking breakfast cereal.
That's right,
Yes.
breakfast cereal.
Let's go. And not only breakfast cereal, the best breakfast cereal.
Yes.
Yes.
We as you may have heard in prior podcasts of ours before, we typically will compile a list upwards of anywhere between 20 to sometimes 30 or plus more, depending on what the topic is, and then we off camera kind of whittle it down. And now we're left with what we consider to be, or at least the ones we could agree on, is the top 16. So,
just a quick notice here: there are no chocolate cereals on this list.
Not pure
chocolate cereals. So, if you got a problem with that, fuck you.
Yeah,
No Cocoa Puffs.
That was like. And I didn't even that was not an intentional thing. It's just like we all initially like the first like pass list we came up with. None of the chocolate cereals made it. So
yep.
But
that's because they're shit.
Well, why have just chocolate when you can have chocolate and peanut butter?
That's right.
So,
that's right.
Spoilers a little bit.
Spoiler there.
But yeah. So
as always, we've shuffled this bracket, so we don't know the matchups. We're going to learn them in real time. We're going to react to them in real time, and by the end of this evening, we will have the greatest cereal of all time, Human Fossil.
Yes,
take us there,
Stitch. Ready?
Give us the first bowl of deliciousness.
All right, so our first contestant.
Oh no, where'd the fossil go?
I'm here. You ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first matchup. I was given dramatic effect.
I thought you just lost connection. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first matchup. This first cereal is made by Quaker. Now, I did get some of these sales figures. These sales figures were from 2019, so pre-pandemic.
Okay.
So $58 million in 2019. This cereal was introduced in 1961.
I remember that year. It's a good year.
The commercial, he likes it, not only became the catchphrase, but one of running television's longest ads in history. We have Life cereal.
Oh, okay.
Going up against, funny that we just talked about it. This one's from General Mills. $35 million in 2019. Brought to you in 1994. Now, there's not a lot on this cereal when you look it up, but it was inspired by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
One of the greatest candy bars.
Yeah, true story.
Time.
The original was Puffs flavored with chocolate and peanut butter. They were later switched so that you had peanut butter flavored Puffs and chocolate Puffs.
All right.
We have Reese's Puffs.
Awesome.
Thoughts?
The longest intro in the history of time, Reese's Puffs.
Yeah.
I mean, look,
So when you said the total amount of money sold for Life cereal, I didn't know how that would stack up. You know, I wasn't sure if like 50 million was good, bad, and different. I am shocked to hear that a cereal like Life outsold, almost doubled Reese's Puffs.
Yep.
So I'll start with Life cereal. I had it for the first time in the lead up of this bracket. And it's also the last bowl of cereal I ate. I ate a bowl of Life cereal today at 7:00. I finished off the box that I had. I wanted to make sure that I gave it its due. Okay. And by due, I mean do. Okay. Because Life cereal is in fact do. All right.
to me,
it's cardboard. It tastes like nothing.
Oh my God.
To me, Josh, Life cereal tastes like it is missing like a couple of ingredients.
Sugar being the main one.
Now, when I was looking to pick up my box of Life cereal, I noticed that there was a couple of other flavors there that actually looked like they were just better versions.
Yeah, don't they have a cinnamon Life?
They do, which is like I was like I wanted to get that, but I was like, oh nope, that's not what is on our list.
We don't have variables here.
No.
Right.
I mean, it has a slight sweetness, maybe a little bit of vanilla, but I mean, I can already see where this bracket is going right here. I was not in love with Life. Let
me ask you guys now.
Go ahead.
Are we okay? So I know a couple of these are going to come up where some of us may say, "Hey, look, it's good if you sprinkle a little sugar on it."
Yeah.
Okay. Now we have cereals that already have sugar on them, right? Like Frosted Flakes, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Well, technically, all of these cereals have. Sugar.
But some of them are more outwardly doused in sugar.
Are we allowing accessories? Basically, is what you're saying.
Are we saying to even the playing field that I can put sugar on Life cereal and other ones that may be on this list? Or
are we going with just what's in the box?
Are we just saying what's in the box?
I see. We've kind of discussed this here and there. See, like I am taking into it totalitarian. So if I add certain things to it and it makes it even better, and I can't add, say, bananas to another cereal and it tastes worse, I have to say that with accessories it tastes better. And the same thing goes with the milks. You know, Dave's not a milk drinker, so I take into consideration the flavoring that it gives me in the milk that I drink when I finish the cereal as well.
Not to derail the podcast, but what I think what Josh is trying to say is if a cereal is only good, or I guess this is what I'm saying. If cereal is only good if you have to add something to a cereal in order to make it good, is that a disqualification?
Yeah. Is that a knock against it?
I mean, you can if you want to put it as a knock against it, you can.
Well, I guess what we're saying is not an individual rule. We're saying a bracket rule for all of us.
Well, I don't think that there is any cereal that is gonna somehow beat another cereal just because you put strawberries in it.
I mean,
well, look, so I added honey to Life cereal. Infinitely better.
Yes.
Infinitely. Gives a little extra twinges of sweetness there. Fossil, you fought for Life cereal to get on this list here. Tell me about Life cereal, Fossil. Give me Life experience here.
Life cereal. I don't even know why I ever tried Life cereal. Like the box is unassuming. There's no cool cartoon character slapped on the side of it. There's 2 scoops of anything in it. There's nothing special about Life cereal, the box. I don't even know how it got into our house. I'm sure it was on sale and my mom just can't pass up a good deal. and I tried it, and I love Life cereal. Like I can eat it with nothing on it, no sugar, no honey, no. When I eat Life cereal, I never add anything to it. It is great the way it is. It has great texture. To me personally, it has a great taste in milk, and I like the milk at the end. I mean,
the milk at the end is like drinking milk. There's no taste.
There is taste because there's sugar in Life cereal.
I would like to propose this just before so we can just be done with this and never bring it up. Just on the subject of adding things to cereal, I've just sat here and thought about it for a second. I think in order to give every cereal a fair shot, you can add whatever you want to cereal. I want the cereal to win because it beat the other cereals at their best. So
that's fine, and because there's some on here, hot, cold, that you can do other things with, like as far as like they're like a treat or desserts. I mean,
I would say the only standard judgment that we should have is we're specifically talking about cereal, bowl, milk. Anything you want to add, that's fine, but we can't do Chex Mix or whatever. I don't even think Chex has made it to the bracket, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, Chex is not in this because Chex is off.
All right, well, we've done our best to give Life cereal about a solid 5 minutes here. Let's talk about the winner of this matchup, Reese's Puffs.
Sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Reese's Puffs for me has slowly over the years become a solid standard. It's one of my set rotation go-to cereals. It's, as we've said, it's a little chocolatey, it's a little peanut buttery. It stays
and it takes milk better. It's the texture wise is better than Life.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna bring this up several times. I'm sure we're all gonna bring it up. I think it holds up to the milk for a decent amount of time. It's not one of those pour and immediately start shoveling situations before it gets soggy. Like Reese's Puffs will hold its own for a little bit there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and throw out my vote for Reese's Puffs at this point.
Yep, Reese's moves on, score 2-1. I mean, I was done as soon as we started.
Yeah. Hey, look, for tasting Life cereal this week, it was fine. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, there's a certain cereal and I have maybe I have different tastes in cereals, and that's fine. For me, I don't know why I like Life cereal, but I do. All right, so we ready for the next matchup?
Do it.
All right, so here we go. All right, these are okay. Here we go. This one is made by Kellogg's. It sold 132 million in 2019. It was brought to you in 1952. The name was so generic that it couldn't be trademarked. And with only one mascot since the beginning, they're great. Frosted Flakes.
I'm going to start
going.
Oh, go ahead. I didn't know you were still talking.
Yeah, I'm going to go on with the next matchup.
Oh, my bad.
It's head to head, Dave.
Sorry.
That's how this works. All right. Are you done?
Jesus, just hurry and finish already.
Going against another Kellogg product. This one sold $71 million in 2019. Brought to us in 1969. But the miniature version didn't come until 1980. Since the inception, there have been 24 varieties that have existed, while only 10 still remain. With the slogan, "The Kid in You." Frosted Mini.
God damn it. I hate this.
Holy shit.
This is a Clash of the Titans for me.
So Frosted Flakes. Listen, Frosted Flakes are...
Does anybody know anybody that doesn't like Frosted Flakes?
No.
Okay.
So they're already like nice and covered and crusted in sugar, right?
Oh yeah, crusted.
Yeah, I used to add 2 tablespoons of sugar to that motherfucker back in the day. All right,
dude, I used to eat those straight out of the box.
They're great. They as the slogan says. Yeah, they're fucking great right out of the box. But man, like eat them in the bowl. Whew, fucking Frosted Flakes is delicious. Now, Frosted Flakes does have the same problem that most other flake cereals do. Is you're on a timer. The minute you put that fucking milk in there, the clock's ticking.
Yep.
Yeah, like it was when I was a kid, like I used to take a glass of milk, pour the milk, or like have milk in a glass, and then go sit down, have my spoon ready, and then immediately pour the milk and then start eating. Like I wouldn't pour it in the kitchen. I would wait till I was sitting down first.
You're not wasting the 30 seconds.
Dude, I need every second with Frosted Flakes.
Yeah, because they're crunchy for about 3 minutes.
You're being way too generous.
Being generous.
Yeah. It's never better than it is in that first, like those first 10 bites. That's the best moment.
Yeah, and you're never gonna get that. See, like
Nope.
most cereals, do you? This is some shit that nobody talks about, but I'm sure we all do or did at some point in our lives. After you pour the milk, you take the spoon and you push all the top cereal to make sure that it's under the milk. I didn't do that with Frosted Flakes because that was just sentencing those top ones to death. So I didn't, and I wanted some of those to stay crunchy. Now, Frosted Flakes for the longest time for me was that probably for like the first, from like age 5 to 10, that was the cereal. There was nothing else. I mean, we had other cereals in the house for sure, on rotation growing up, but I mean, that was the one I asked for pretty much every time.
Well, the other good thing with Frosted Flakes is you can add anything to it, like any fruit. Yeah, you can add to it.
I never did, but you can.
I've never added. The only thing I've ever added to it was more sugar.
I would have it if I wanted to switch it up. I'd either put like bananas, strawberry, or raspberry.
But I would say, as I've grown up, buying a box of Frosted Flakes it's become increasingly less and less often. Frosted Mini Wheats, I got a box in my pantry right now.
Dude,
has nothing to do with this bracket. I just have it.
Have either of you tried like the full sized wheats?
Yeah.
The
full size wheats. It's a different animal for sure. The Frosted Mini Wheat is the perfect size. The full size wheats, like you got to take a knife. You need to be hungry, and you need to be ready to break down a log of fucking wheat. Yeah. Now
the first time I ever tried if you want to call it like not mini wheats, but like the frosted wheats, it's like I had no idea what the this was. I was like, cereal? Like this thing's like the size of a burrito.
It's like, a granola bar.
Do I have a bale of hay in my fucking bowl?
Dude, the thing that saved this ass was the fact that it became a mini wheat.
Yeah. And I'll say a knock against Frosted Mini Wheats for me is if you don't eat them fast enough, like the sugar frost on the cereal starts like melting into the milk. And so like the last few Frosted Mini Wheats that you eat like have nothing on them basically.
But it does hold up to the milk better than Frosted Flakes. Like even though it doesn't stay crunchy necessarily, but you get more time out of it.
When you drink the milk at the end, it's like drinking the sweetest milk you've ever had in your life.
Well, you're also it's like drinking milk mixed with grass. All the other little parts have broken off by the end of it. Yeah.
I will say I don't.
The milk experience with this is worse than anything else.
This is not a category, but I would say like the last 5 bites of Frosted Mini Wheats for me are not good usually. If I've poured myself a really hefty bowl, I don't like the end.
Usually by the time you get to the last few, they're like Josh said, they're disintegrated.
I sometimes just stop and I just don't eat anymore.
Now the real problem with Frosted Mini Wheats is the inconsistency of the frosting.
Yes.
Now 100%. you'll have some of these that are like very well frosted, and when you get to that point, a couple minutes into the cereal, where the wheat is a little mushier, but you still get a nice crunch with the icing. Yeah, that is the sweet spot of the cereal.
Yes.
The problem is like you get one of those for every 10 like fucking so iced Mini Wheats.
You can't even taste the sugar.
Yeah.
And frosted mini wheats does not pair well with adding any kind of.
Well, no, I mean even a mini wheat is like you better be ready to eat.
Yeah, it's a mouthful.
You know. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna come in for Frosted Flakes. Look, I've never had a flake that was frosted not consistently with the other flakes. Okay. The frosting on the mini wheats, like if you got a whole box, if you sold me a box of frosted mini wheats with the advertisement of they are all consistently frosted like a motherfucker.
Okay, what if frosted
I
mini
would be
wheats
there.
came out with a fully frosted wheat?
Like it's completely wrapped in frosting?
Yes.
That's a whole nother game.
That's a different.
Look, let's reconvene this bracket when that happens, and then we'll have that conversation.
Where you have to
and you
have to bite a crust of frosting in order to get to the wheat.
Bro,
dude,
I love everything you're saying.
I'm already like, where is this cereal?
Where is it? Yeah. Where is it in my life?
In the meantime, it's a Frosted Flakes vote for me.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to agree with you, Josh. Although I don't have a box of it currently, Frosted Flakes just over the course of time is the more consistent cereal for me.
Yeah, I like frosted mini wheats, but I like Frosted Flakes. It's a sweet.
Yeah.
All right. I was kind of curious if we were actually going to get any sweeps. Like I know there's a couple of cereals on here that might not get anything, but I was still curious on whether or not somebody would bust.
Look, I hate voting against mini wheats. Mini wheats is one of my favorites, but
I will say I expected frosted mini wheats to move on to the second round 100%. And I'm sad.
Yep.
All right, so the next matchup. All right, here we go. Let's see. All right, this is our oldest cereal on the bracket. Brought to you by Post in 1897.
Box of rocks.
Originally baked in sheets, busted into pieces, and then fed through a grinder. This was used by explosives as well as rations during World War II. We have grape nuts.
Oh God!
What was the sales in 2019 for that one?
There was no sales. I could not find it.
So low it was untrackable, huh?
It didn't make the top 15 highest grossing, so it wasn't on that list. And I couldn't find it.
You should have looked in like road construction or asphalt expenditures.
All right, it's going up against General Mills product.
I mean, depending on this rival.
Yeah, $86 million in 2019. Brought to you in 1964. It is the first cereal to include marshmallows. Originally, not sugar-coated, sales lagged. They became frosted, and sales grew. Lucky Charms.
Ooh.
Frosted Lucky Charms. They're
man.
Look, hey, so we're going to talk about grape nuts the last time on this bracket.
Yeah.
So me and Jason fought hard to get grape nuts on this bracket. Josh, tell us a little bit about your first experience with the grape nut.
You know, I'm kind of sad right now, actually, because I thought I was going to come in and surprise you guys and give grape nuts a vote somewhere in this bracket because I'm actually pleasantly surprised by it. Now, it's definitely not good, okay? Like in the traditional sense, okay? Yes. It's like it has even less of a taste than Life cereal does, if that's possible, okay? But they have 100% solved the milk problem.
Yes.
Okay. Because that shit don't change. Whether it's like fresh out of the box, whether you just dunked milk on top of it, or whether you forgot that bowl was there and you came back 5 minutes later. Like, you're still eating a big bowl of rocks. And listen, oddly, that shit is very satisfying. Very satisfying. I
And filling.
very much enjoy the experience of eating it. I put some honey on it. Way better.
Yeah.
Way better with the honey.
Like
Now,
go ahead. I was gonna say, do you think you're going to not necessarily have it be a go-to cereal, but do you think you will occasionally grab a box of it at some point?
Yes, I will. It goes back to the question: is this rewatchable? Right?
Yeah.
I'll never buy another box of Life cereal. Will I buy another box of Grape Nuts? Yes, I will.
And it fills you up like a motherfucker. Also, if you didn't,
it does.
It's the only cereal on the bracket in which I have made a bowl of cereal that I could not finish.
Sneaky.
Multiple times.
The first time I poured it in the bowl, I was like, well, when I saw it pouring in, I was like, hold on. Because usually, like when I'm filling up a bowl of cereal, it's like I'm going up to the 75 to 80% mark to leave room for the milk overflow, right?
Yep.
This one, I started dumping them in. I was like, instantly, my brain was like, pump your brakes.
The trap.
Stay sub 50 on the bowl, okay? So I kept it at about 40%, and I was glad I did because, man, like I was trying to finish that bowl.
I think the great experience that most people have had with Grape Nuts, pouring, like you said, pouring what they think is a normal bowl, pouring the milk in, and then 30 minutes later finding themselves going, how many fucking Grape Nuts are still left in the damn bowl?
Yeah.
Man.
But very, very satisfying. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'll say this about Grape Nuts. I do like Grape Nuts. But similar to what Josh said he used to do with the Frosted Flakes, like that's how I eat my Grape Nuts. I put them in the bowl, cover them with milk, and then I get 2 like heaping tablespoons of sugar.
Yeah. And
just throw it on there. And that's how I usually eat. Now, I know people like hot Grape Nuts. Never tried it. I know people who have made there's like cinnamon swirl grape nut shit. I don't know. I've never tried it.
I don't know. There's a recipe on the back of the box for like a yogurt parfait using those as granola. Not that good. I would just tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Dave?
Grape Nuts. Like I said, I grew up eating Grape Nuts. My dad was big into Grape Nuts, still is. We always kept our Grape Nuts in the refrigerator. No idea if that does absolutely anything whatsoever.
Oh, that interesting tidbit here of history for the Grape Nuts. Up until I think 1990s, grape nuts didn't even come in a plastic bag. They came in the
cardboard.
Yes, because like they're fucking bulletproof, and you had a tab on the side that you'd pull
I remember
in it.
It was like
the
little metal, like a salt thing.
Yes.
Yes.
That's interesting. I believe that. That's the only cereal that could do that.
So similar to Jason's experience, my first bowl of Grape Nuts, because it was
a nightmare.
I would see my dad eating it all the time. Like, Mom, can I have some of Dad's Grape Nuts? And it's like, sure. Dude, I poured like a 60% bowl. And I just start eating, and I think I wanted to throw up by the time I was done with it. Like I don't even remember eating lunch that day. But look, do we want to save our talk on Lucky Charms until round 2? Because my vote's Lucky Charms. I'm sure it's a Lucky Charms sweep at this point.
Sure, we can do that.
I almost want to give Grape Nuts a sympathy vote because I do like them.
I do as well.
But Lucky Charms is better.
Yeah, we'll talk about Lucky Charms in round 2 when it's a more interesting fight. Hopefully.
Yep.
All right. Let's see what the next one is. Oh. Okay. Here we go.
I'm hoping for a tough one. Another tough one.
The thing is that because I don't what you guys really have in your like pantry, like I don't know which ones you actually go to. We haven't talked about this in weeks, so it's more of a surprise for me to see which way these go. All right, so here we go. This one is brought to you by Quaker.
All right.
Brought to you in 1963. The mascot's name is Horatio Magellan Crunch, and his ship is called the Guppy.
Captain.
Now, rarely does the captain actually have the 4 R's that would be the rank of captain. But it does, as a catchphrase, it does stay crunchy, even in milk. Captain Crunch. Versus, this one's brought to you by Post. $54 million in 2019. Brought to you in 1971. Now, it was using a cartoon in the time branding the Flintstones to promote to children. Now, many within the company thought that this was going to be a fad. It wouldn't last long. Ended up being, wouldn't last like more than a year. Ended up all the way up to present time. Fruity Pebbles.
I feel like, I guess, hot take, I guess. I feel like kids today only know the Flintstones through the cereal.
Through Fruity Pebbles, yeah.
Like, don't even know the show. Only know the Flintstones based on vitamins and the cereal. But probably have never seen the show in their lives. I assume.
It's too bad.
I would probably say the same thing. And they had the spinoffs with Cocoa Pebbles. They did have, like, I think an offshoot one, like a special limited edition. It was a different one, but I don't remember which one that was.
They had ones with marshmallows too, which was really good.
So I want to talk about Fruity Pebbles first. For me, I remember growing up loving the shit out of Fruity Pebbles. Like, we had Fruity Pebbles and Cocoa Pebbles growing up. I was never a big Cocoa Pebbles guy, but I remember eating the Fruity Pebbles a lot. But I always remember, more so than any other cereal in my entire life, like, ever, like, I couldn't even eat the cereal after, like, literally 2 minutes because it was just absolute mashed potatoes.
Yes.
Yeah. Fruity Pebbles has 2 big problems. Yep. One, it is by far the worst in milk.
Like, it's not even, it's almost instantaneous.
Yeah. And number 2, for whatever reason, this cereal sticks to the sides of the bowl more than any other cereal in this bracket. And it's a nightmare.
God forbid if you leave it in the sink for more than a couple of hours, because you will need a chisel,
dude,
to get it.
Bro, that shit is crusty. Imagine what that shit does to your insides.
I was just about to say, Jason, if when you're about to run your dishwasher, if you don't get all of the pebbles off that bowl, and especially if you do heated dry in that motherfucking dishwasher, you have an addition to your bowl. Yeah. It is now a part of it. You're gonna have to do a day soak and with full on soap and hope for the best.
But dude, that first minute of eating Fruity Pebbles as fast as you fucking can. Oh, dude, they're so good.
I was talking, I think, to Dave, that Fruity Pebbles is, like I said, it's good and bad. Like, the few times that we get it, if I open the box, because we buy the boxes and then we open them up and we pour them into an airtight container, and so that they don't go stale or whatever. Cereals at different paces. If I'm the one that opens the box for the Fruity Pebbles, dude, that smell gets into my face as soon as you crack it open, and I have to eat the whole. I have to. Yeah. And and look, completely candid, like, Fruity Pebbles is not like on my list of like go-to cereals. Like, if I'm at the store, I'll never buy Fruity Pebbles. But if I open the box, if I'm anywhere near it, I can smell it instantly, and it tastes so, like, the smell of it, you can taste the smell, and you're like, I gotta have a bowl.
You gotta be strategic. You gotta pour. I find if you pour the milk first, and then you do the Fruity Pebbles in layers,
let them float.
Like, dump it in, eat a little bit, dump it in, eat a little bit. That's your best chance of success for crunchy Fruity Pebbles. If you put like a big bowl in there and you just pour it in, then you're getting 1 minute of happiness, and then to Dave's point, you're eating some fruity mashed potatoes after that.
Yeah,
pretty much.
But Captain Crunch does not have that problem. Captain Crunch does stay pretty damn crunchy.
I had a bowl of Captain Crunch for lunch today.
Captain Crunch was one of those cereals for a long time growing up that we didn't buy. It was always cereal that I ate at someone else's house.
And you're like, why don't we buy this?
I don't know. I think it's because my older brothers didn't like it. I don't really know the whole story behind that, but my parents just didn't buy it. But I always had it either at school or someone else's house, and I always thought this shit was so good. Now, I never really liked peanut butter Captain Crunch. Like, I didn't really like any of the variants on the Captain Crunch.
The Crunch Berries are fine.
Yeah, the Crunch Berries are fine. I think they're probably the second most popular.
Yeah. Now, this is definitely the most dangerous cereal on this bracket.
Man, it will cut your goddamn gums.
This shit will fuck you up. That's the cost. Dude. That's the cost of being more of crunchy and milk.
Don't have a open wound inside your cheek or something.
But Josh brought this up with the grape nuts. Captain Crunch is a very satisfying chew. It's a very satisfying bite. I think that's really important when you're judging the best cereal. And not just the first bite. It's a satisfying bite almost throughout. Like throughout the your normal session of eating a bowl of soup or of cereal.
And it's got a unique flavor. There's not another cereal on this bracket that has a flavor like Captain Crunch.
And I will say
also
the shape of
that flavoring. Yeah, the flavoring seeps into the milk, and so you get a nice milk flavor at the end.
Yeah.
I will say
all that being said, Fruity Pebbles is superior cereal here.
Oh, you're going Fruity Pebbles?
Really?
I'm going Fruity Pebbles. Look, think about yourself as a young to middle-aged fat guy. And Fruity Pebbles allows you to pile on the Fruity Pebbles. I mean, look, if the spoon's here, I can get a pile of Fruity Pebbles up on this spoon like this, right? I know Jason can't see this, but Dave, you can see it. I mean, I could stuff a maximum amount of Fruity Pebbles into my face and eat them together. I just like the flavor there.
Have you had the Fruity Pebble like Rice Krispie treat?
Yes.
It's not awful.
Nope.
It is definitely worth trying. It is an experience.
And Fruity Pebbles, what we didn't even talk about, like when you go to like those little frozen yogurt shops, you can get Fruity Pebbles like as a little side piece to dump on top of your frozen yogurt. Ooh, let's go.
I'm gonna go ahead and make Jason make the call here. I'm gonna go Captain Crunch. I just think I would never. I mean, I have kids, but they don't like Fruity Pebbles. But like, I don't think I would ever buy myself a box of Fruity Pebbles at this point in my life. Like, I think Fruity Pebbles are strictly
not Dave.
Get rid of those kids, Dave. Get rid of those kids.
Dave, is that because you're being embarrassed at checkout?
No, absolutely not. It's because not to spoil future cereals, but as far as fruity cereals, I think we have better ones on this list for me. So I'm going Captain Crunch. I think it is the more unique cereal on this of these two.
Fossil, do the right thing.
I said this a little earlier. Like, if you open a box of Fruity Pebbles around me, I have to eat it. The problem is that then you have to eat it. And while I do like the taste of Fruity Pebbles, like I cannot eat it fast enough before it turns to fruity mashed potatoes. So it's going to be a Captain Crunch for me.
Guys, I'm getting a phone call. I gotta go.
All right, next.
That's a shitty vote, Fossil. You suck.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. All right, the next one up, brought to you by Post. Introduced in 1957, it did have a brief hiatus in 2006. Made a comeback in 2008 as a sugar-free version, which bombed. So they brought it back in 2008. Later, back to normal. Tagline is they're ABC delicious.
Yeah.
Alphabets.
Yeah.
Going up against Kellogg's. This cereal sells 41 million in 2019. Brought to you in 1965. Originally in the shapes of O's, and were all the color orange. They are now orange and green. A is for apple. J is for Jacks. Apple Jacks.
This is a good matchup, I think, because for me, these are two like low B, high C tier cereals for me.
Just say it, Dave. These cereals are shit.
These are cereals that are neither one of these are ever going to be in my standard rotation of cereal boxes. So it's good that they went up against each other.
My mom used to love Alphabets, so that's the first time I ever had Alphabets. And look, when you can,
good.
What's that?
Good.
When you compare it to cereals like a Frosted Flakes, right, or a Lucky Charms, it's a little bit lacking. But when you compare it to the Cheerios and now the Lifes, or maybe even Dave's stupid favorite, the Kicks cereals of the world out there, it's infinitely better than those. It's the solid B cereal. It's right there in the middle.
Yeah.
It's got a good crunch to it. It's got a good frosting, good frosted coating to it.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm getting smarter while I'm eating these letters. I try to spell little words out before I eat them.
I do try to find words, but not on purpose, like try and spell anything out, but like you would say a word finder, puzzle or something like that, where you're eating it and you're like, I'm trying to spell whatever. Oh, look, there's a dick or something, Like,
I feel like Jason read my mind right there.
Alphabets are good. I don't know, like, what made them think that they could get away with the sugar-free version, because even the slightly frosted Alphabets that are available now, like, are not that frosted.
It's a nostalgia thing, I think, for me. Is I anytime I get a chance to eat some Alphabets right now, like if I see a small box of them somewhere at a buffet or something, I genuinely enjoy it. I like Alphabets. They're good. It's a good cereal.
It's a solid.
Apple Jacks. I went through a phase as a kid, man, where that's all I wanted was fucking Apple Jacks. Yeah. Oh my God, this apple cinnamon Fruit Loop, basically.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Like Apple Jacks, I think is the only cereal on here that I've gone through like phases with, like where, man, this shit is delicious. Why did I stop eating it? And then, like, I'm kind of tired of eating Apple Jacks. And then a few years later, we're like, oh my God, Apple Jacks.
Apple Jacks have the unique thing of tasting absolutely nothing like the name of the cereal. They don't taste anything like apple. They taste like mostly sugar and cinnamon. It's not a complaint, mind you, but they give you the impression initially based on the name, like when I was a kid.
Like there's a little apple bit.
Like, oh, is this gonna be like an apple pie in a cereal bowl? No, it's not. It's not. It's gonna taste like sugar.
It's in the ballpark of that. I would say I've eaten more Apple Jacks like dry or out of the box than probably any other cereal on this list. Like I feel like that's always been the most snackable option, because there's other ones that are probably better dry, like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Spoiler alert, it's coming. Okay. Whereas this cereal, it's a lot of a cleaner eat if you're just eating it out of the box. You don't get as much like sugar on your fingertips and stuff like that. Like these little granular pieces that were attached to them, right? They were like little like red,
orange or red.
Yeah, something like that. Yep.
Dude,
yeah. I don't know what that was, but I liked it.
I always thought that was little bits of apple when I was little.
Hey, look,
I had no idea.
That's fine.
I mean, they lied to me.
Look,
okay, you could tell me that right now. I'd be like, okay,
look,
maybe.
I'm gonna go ahead and just come out as an Apple Jacks vote. I think they're the more unique of the two cereals. Again, this is not really. I don't really have a dog in this fight, but for me, I'm just gonna go with the slightly more interesting cereal, and I'm gonna go Apple Jacks.
I'm gonna vote Alphabets for the nostalgia of eating that. Growing up a little bit more.
It's fair.
Because I trust Jason's going to do the right thing.
I mean, you've fought this position twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the last time I knew where it was going.
Apple Jacks. I am going to go ahead and go with. I'm going to go with Alphabets. I think because they're more fun to eat. I like Apple Jacks, but they're not so much better than Alphabets to me that I would just be like, yeah, I'll take Apple Jacks. But for me, like I enjoy just eating Alphabets, and I think maybe it is more nostalgia from growing up. Maybe it is because I like to spell the words. I don't really know. But my vote is for Alphabets.
I'm cool with that.
Hey, the frosting ratio in there is actually really good. They don't skimp on the frosting.
I don't think we have Frosted Cheerios on this bracket, do we? No, we have a different.
This essentially would be the equivalent to Frosted Cheerios.
Yeah,
like Frosted Cheerios, they're very good too.
Yeah.
So Alphabets advances. That was the
Yep.
All right, I get it.
That's not where I thought that was going to go, but I'll take it.
My app here just kind of goes up. All right, here we go. Good job. All right, next up, we have
some nasty matchups coming.
I know.
Yeah,
there's some names.
Yeah,
I haven't heard.
Yeah, this one's. I think this one's going to be a big one. All right, so here we go. Kellogg's, $91 million in 2019, brought to you in 1963. Now this cereal is actually banned in the UK, Norway, Finland, France, and Austria. Toucan Sam is the mascot. Follow the nose if it always knows. Fruit Loops.
Let me ask you a question. On these dollar amounts.
Yeah.
Is this like only America or is this worldwide gross?
But this is the in America. This is the highest grossing cereals of 2019. And it was
I was just curious to see if that was hurting the number because I feel like 90 million is low for Fruit Loops. Okay, I'm sorry, go.
Yep. So we have Fruit Loops going up against. All right. General Mills product, $129 million. Top selling brand, 4 years in a row. Brought to you in 1979. Features a bee, which got its name in the year 2000. Buzzbee. Must be the honey. Honey Nut Cheerios.
Oh, god damn.
So this is the highest selling cereal?
It won best selling brand 4 years consecutively. I don't know exactly which year.
I wonder if that's the totality of like all Cheerios.
No, the Honey Nut Cheerios is kind of like thing.
Okay.
Well, Honey Nut Cheerios, so it's the only variant that's on this list because it is, I think it's overtaken regular Cheerios as being the standard Cheerio.
Yeah, actually, it's the second variant on this. We have two of them.
Oh, we do.
What's the other one?
Raisin Bran Crunch.
No, whatever.
I know what you mean. Okay.
Yeah. It's overtaken. Like this one is actually overtaken. I think regular Cheerios as being the main Cheerio. This is the one you think of first.
And for the most part, that is accurate because now this is considered like the original Honey Nut Cheerios.
Yeah.
Yep.
Honey Nut Cheerios for me, that was a constant staple growing up. Like we had that as much, if not more, than regular Cheerios, even back in the early 90s. I mean, Honey Nut Cheerios, you don't need to add any sugar to it, although I'm not saying you can't. For me, it's got a very satisfying, I think, unique flavor. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that tastes exactly like a Honey Nut Cheerio.
Up until somewhere in the 90s, it actually had ground up nuts in it, like not that you could actually tell, but as part of the ingredients.
I love Honey Nut Cheerios. Super solid cereal.
This is the cereal. This is the cereal I've had the least amount of experience with outside of Life and Grape Nuts. Not a staple in my household. Not a staple in my adulthood. I've probably had. You know what? In reality, I probably let us down here. I should have had a bowl of that in the last couple of weeks, but I, I just wasn't even like it's just whatever to me. This is not a. I'm not a big advocate for Honey Nut Cheerios.
I like Honey Nut Cheerios because you can literally do anything with it. Like you can just eat it by itself. You can eat it right out the box. You can put it in, like if you wanted to do Chex Mix or anything like that. If you want to like I'll add honey to bananas and honeys. I rarely add sugar to it because it's already pretty sweet the way it is. But Honey Nut Cheerios has always been like one of my staples.
Yeah. Fruit Loops for me was also something that we had in the house quite frequently.
Yep.
I don't know how often, but I would say, growing up, we always kept about 5-ish boxes. I mean, there was 4 kids living in the house, so we always had about 5 or 6 boxes of cereal at any given time. Fruit Loops was generally we had it in regular rotation.
Yep.
This was a staple growing up.
See, now Fruit Loops has the exact same phenomena as Fruity Pebbles for me. Like if I'm nearby when the box is open, I get that whiff of like that fruity plastic cardboard, whatever it is, and like I have to eat a bowl. And kind of to what you said earlier, Dave, having 2 fruity cereals on this bracket, I think Fruit Loops is probably better than Fruity Pebbles. Yeah. This is definitely just a tough matchup.
Yeah, Fruit Loops, to your point, like it has that intoxicating smell to it.
Yes.
Man, so good. Similar to Apple Jacks, it's one of those cereals that I would eat out of the box pretty regularly.
Yeah.
And again, I think being the style of cereal that it is, it holds up to milk.
Yes,
I think it holds up really, really good to milk. I don't remember ever having a bowl of Fruit Loops where I felt like I was struggling to get to the end of it. And it does a good job with the milk afterwards too.
So this was always I never researched this, and this is probably going to sound like a really dumb question, but as a kid, I had myself convinced that the different colors of the Fruit Loops had a different flavor.
Had different flavors.
But Jason, I don't know in any of your research if you could ever answer this. Was that ever the case, or is it just it's just different colors? But the flavoring is exactly the same across the board.
The flavoring is pretty much same across.
Okay. I just remember
there is a cereal that has different flavors.
Okay.
But it's not this one.
Look, I'm just gonna get down to it because I kind of know where this I don't know where it's gonna go, but I know where Josh is gonna go. And Jason, this is gonna be another decision that you're gonna have to make. I'm sorry.
Why do I gotta make it? How about you let me just pick first?
Jason, go first.
Okay, I'm gonna pick first.
Okay.
I love Honey Nut Cheerios. I have box up in the
where he's going with this
thing right now
because Jason does the same thing every time. He always says what he's not going to pick first.
Yeah.
And then he picks the other one.
Yeah. Anyway, Fruit Loops win, baby.
Yes, it's going to be a Fruit Loops for me. And this is probably this is the most difficult one because I eat Honey Nut Cheerios more than I eat Fruit Loops. But that's only because I don't really dictate which cereals we purchase. But if Fruit Loops make it in the house, I'm going to have a bowl. So it's a Fruit Loops vote for me.
I'm not super upset about this. I'm voting Honey Nut Cheerios. I think it's the superior cereal. I think it's a cereal that you can get tired of less. Like if I had to, if I could only eat one box of cereal for like a week straight, or like the same cereal for a week straight, I think Fruit Loops would get old much quicker. But I don't hate the cereal. We had it a lot growing up. So And I
So
do
Honey
think
Nut Cheerios.
better than Cheerios.
and I do think Fruit Loops is superior in almost every way to Fruity Pebbles. Like I think if those two went up against each other, I think it'd be no contest Fruit Loops personally.
Agree. Josh?
What?
Oh,
Oh, we gotta save something for later.
Okay, so it's Fruit Loops advances.
The vote. Yeah, Fruit Loops.
Okay, just making sure. I didn't know if you were going to throw
he
a
pretty
curve.
much telegraphed that. He pretty much said, I couldn't even be bothered to have a bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios. That's how little interested I am.
That was my vote. Yeah, right there.
I don't think this is a tough one, but it's going to be unfortunate for me.
We'll be the judge of that, Fossil.
All right. In this corner,
I'm just waiting for him to say this cereal did 380 something million. I don't even know the number, but I'm just waiting for like a stupid high number.
This one is brought to you by Kellogg. 38 million.
Oh, nope.
This is one of our newer cereals on the market. Brought to you in 1999. No. Targeted at 18 to 25-year-olds demographic, including somewhat sexist commercial in which a milkman is dropping off some milk at the house, and a very unattractive woman makes advances towards the milkman and says, "Hey, would you like to come inside?" And he looks over her shoulder and sees a box of Raisin Bran Crunch, and he's like, "Okay." Insinuated that you will do anything for a box of Raisin Bran Crunch versus General Mills, 105 million, brought to you in 1984. Initially featuring a Jolly Baker, it now sports sentient squares. Rave those crazy squares. Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Hey man, that's the year I was born. Let's go Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Man. and you know, correct me if I'm wrong, it used to have 3 bakers.
Yes, it did.
Yep.
Okay, I know my motherfucking Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Way back when. Let's talk about this Raisin Bran Crunch for a minute though. Dave, this was this the first time you had it this week?
First time ever. Okay.
Walk me through the experience.
Me and Josh had to bend Dave's arm backward.
I'm really sad about this, okay? Because I have found one of my favorite cereals ever. And I'm sad because we'll see. And the so I go to the store, you know, this is post winter freeze. This is the Night King has showed up.
Snowbit 2020 or 2021.
Yeah. So like there is no cereals here in the store for some reason. This is like I don't know why. And I'm like, God, I really want to try some Raisin Bran Crunch. I see H-E-B has like it's called like Raisin Crunch Bran. Like it's just reverse. It's whatever. Yeah. I'm trying to get out of the name. And I'm like, like let me just like I already was not expecting to like the cereal, and now I'm having to buy the H-E-B brand version. I'm just like, I guess I'll give it a shot. Okay. Bro, when I tell you that I have not gone a day, that cereal box is about to be over, okay? Because I've not gone a single day when it's like, man, I want a snack. Okay, I'm just going to go pour me a bowl of this Raisin Nut Crunch, whatever. This shit is delicious. If you have not bought... This is the last time I'm going to be able to talk about the cereal, so I got to get this in. If you have not bought a box of Raisin Bran Crunch, do yourself a favor. I haven't even had the real thing, and I'm already saying this is one of my favorite bowls of cereal. It's got a satisfying chew. You got the crunch. You got the raisins.
And not just a little bit of raisins. Like there's a hefty portion of raisins.
Even in the H-E-B version, it's pretty good. So like, I'm going to try the regular one.
But the raisins have a nice little coating of sugar on them.
Yeah, it's good. If it's comparable, I'm just gonna go with the H-E-B brand, and if it's cheaper.
This is a unique experience eating this because the flakes, it's like a frosted flake, right? But whatever it's made of, the grain or whatever it is a little harder, so it does better in milk. But like when you pour a bowl of frosted flakes and you pour milk in it, it rises with the milk, right?
This does not.
This does not. This just sits like fucking dead ass on the bottom of your bowl. So
it's a hearty flake.
Yeah, the win here is you can get more cereal in this bowl because it's not going to rise up and try to pour over the side of it. So you want to eat a fucking good cereal and you're hungry, like this is a good one to go with.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And you get a little treat at the end of it because if you don't scoop to the bottom every time you like take a scoop of cereal out, then you're going to find about 50 raisins on the bottom of your bowl.
I will say that, small knock for me is your point exactly, Josh. I've learned there's a certain technique when you eat this cereal. You gotta fly all the way down. You got to do a full sweep so you can get an even amount of raisin to cereal distribution. All right?
Yes.
You got to go down and scoop, like down and scoop around the edge of the bowl.
Because the first 2 bowls I did, like, dude, the last 3 or 4 spoonfuls were just like 75% raisins. And like, I like raisins, okay? But I don't want to eat a raisin cereal. Like, just raisins and milk. So,
but when you get the mix in there, like with the crunchy flake and a good couple of raisins, like, dude, texturally, there's nothing else like it.
If you get a crunch, like a granola and like 1 or 2 raisins and like a good amount of flake, like, dude, that might be one of the best, most satisfying bites of any cereal.
Yep.
Yeah, and I don't even like raisins, and I love Raisin Bran Crunch.
But here's the problem with Raisin Bran Crunch.
It ain't Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah, that is also true.
All right, look. I'll let you guys speak. Go ahead. Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is Jason's least favorite cereal.
But
I don't understand it. Maybe we should let Jason talk about it first because I just don't get that.
Okay, so here's the thing. I like it is too much. It is too much cinnamon. It is too much sugar.
No.
I do not like, and I don't know why, because I like cinnamon. Like I'll make toast, light spread of butter, sprinkle a little sugar on there, sprinkle some cinnamon on it. It's delicious.
So what you're saying
I like
is you
cinnamon
have
roll.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Real thing. But I do not like the taste of the cinnamon and sugar with the milk. For whatever reason, Cinnamon Toast Crunch on this bracket is my least favorite cereal. I never buy it. I never ask for it. If there's almost any other brand of cereal, even when I was a kid, if I was somebody's house, because God, everybody loved Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Whatever else was up there, that's what unless it was Kix, I would eat something else. That's the only time. The only time I've ever just eaten Cinnamon Toast Crunch is when somebody had like Kix. And I was like,
imagine taking Cinnamon Toast Crunch and throwing another little spoon of sugar right on top.
Oh, that's just too much.
Let's go.
Josh, what's your experience with Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Look, I don't remember the first time I ever had it, but I can imagine that I smiled a little bit bigger that day. I probably walked with a little bit of extra little pep in my step. My eyes had a little twinkle in them.
Probably from the sugar rush, I'm sure.
Probably
either that or just for the fact that I had now discovered one of the early loves of my life. I disagree with everything that the fossil is saying over here. It is the perfect cinnamon, sugar, and little toast flake receptacle ratio. It's perfect. It does well in milk. Now there's a timeline for that. It can get to the end where it does become kind of a soggy mess. Yeah, but you get it. But you get a solid 5-6 minutes.
You get enough time that
before that happens.
If you haven't poured yourself, if you haven't gotten overzealous and you have not poured yourself like a giant tortilla soup bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, if you just poured a normal bowl, then you're fine. No danger. You're good. But otherwise, you could be with a wet diaper if you get too overzealous. And
and it's easily the best tasting milk afterwards as well. And you do get the additional treat of some of that sugar coming off of the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and you can get a little scoop of that at the bottom, so you can get some more little cinnamon sugar with your couple of drinks of milk there at the end as well. It's It's a fucking premium experience eating
I
Cinnamon
want
Toast
to
Crunch.
say this, look, so that you don't think that I'm being biased. Like I've already said, like if Life cereal is one of my favorite cereals, but I will not eat Cinnamon Life. Same thing. I just don't like the cinnamon taste in the milk.
Okay.
I've always known you were stupid, Fossil, but fuck.
I know.
You've elevated to the highest level of stupidity. You're on the Mount Everest of fucking stupid right now.
So Raisin Bran Crunch advances. Is that what?
No.
Look, if this was against Life cereal, fuck yes, it would.
Look, I shit you not. I would have voted Raisin Bran Crunch over literally almost any other cereal. Probably any other cereal in this bracket.
I'd voted over Reese's Puff, Frosted Mini Wheats, Fruity Pebbles, Frosted Flakes.
I would have voted it over Frosted Flakes.
Yeah,
but it went up against the greatest cereal of all time.
It went up against it. This is a definition of a tough matchup.
All right, so here we go. Last matchup in the first round. All right, we have one of my personal favorites. This is from Kellogg's, 1953. It is formerly known as Sugar Smacks, now called Honey Smacks. It got the top honor, and I did not know this. It got the top honor for having the most cavity-inducing cereal made.
Fuck.
With just over 50% sugar. Like when you have a serving, 50% of it is already sugar.
It's my kind of cereal.
One serving of Sugar Smacks is the equivalent of eating a single glazed donut from Dunkin' Donuts.
Man, we need to do a donut break.
Oh, apple fritter for life.
Dude, oh man. My wife, I don't even know her. She's like apple. What? Anyway.
It's all about chocolate.
I digress.
Nut. Anyway.
All right, here we go. Going up against General Mills, introduced in 1950. As artificial dyes and flavoring advanced, the colors got brighter. If you removed the artificial flavors, you would end up with Kix cereal, repackaged as Trix.
Nice.
Silly rabbit tricks are for kids.
Look, I will say this. I'm going to come out the gate strong on Trix. Okay.
This is now this one. Okay, so now this one, it did have different flavors according to the colors that were in the actual cereal. Now they did go from a time where they were like there was a time period where everybody was talking about how harmful artificial coloring and flavors are. So they removed went from like 6 flavors to 4 flavors. They removed some of the dyes, some of the artificial flavoring, and sales went down. So they said, "Fuck those kids," and they put all that shit back in.
Okay, so even to this day, like the different shapes and colors are different flavors.
Yes.
Okay. Look, I'm just gonna come out strong with Trix. I was never big on the Honey Smacks. I had like a frog on the cover of it or whatever.
Yeah, because that garners what it tastes like, Dave.
I just never I was never interested in buying it. I thought the commercials, we haven't talked about really any of the commercials or advertising for any of these cereals. Maybe we're saving that for round 2 or something. But I think the advertising on Trix was awesome. I like the flavor of it. I think Trix is probably a very heavy hitter. If we're just talking about fruity cereals, I think it might be my favorite. I'm just gonna come
interesting.
I'm gonna come out early Trix.
I want to come in and I'm going to counter that with Trix is the worst fruity cereal on this bracket. And it's not close. It's not even close.
Josh, what if I told you they were just kicks?
Look, when he said that, I was like, holy shit. They are.
I know. They are.
Kicks
was first.
Most
Kicks didn't sell very much, so they added artificial flavors and dyes, and they call it.
I definitely think the most unique flavor and the most unique textural cereal on this list are Smacks.
Yes.
My mom ate Smacks for a lot, and I don't know. I didn't really grow to appreciate Smacks until I got a little bit older, and I always felt like it kind of had like almost maybe like a slight bitter, like a coffee flavor to it.
It's like I think it's like a maple wheat.
Yeah, I don't. It's hard to pinpoint to me exactly what it is. Dave, why are you checking your phone? But the texture of it with the sugar and everything else, it gives it this really odd crunch that it survives milk very well.
Yeah.
It's very satisfying. I don't know. Smacks is very satisfying to me. I know it may be like the dark horse of this bracket, and a lot of people may not like it as much, but I'm a Smacks vote.
I did not realize like how much sugar was in Honey Smacks. Now maybe I guess that's why they changed their name from Sugar Smacks, because like they just kept getting slapped with all of these awards of having the most sugar, and it might be why I like it so much as a kid growing up.
Do you still buy it?
Absolutely. And here's the thing: Sugar Smacks, Honey Smacks, whatever that, I don't care. Even if you get the generic, whatever they want to call it, like they're still just as good. Like it just does not matter who makes these, because it's a very like simple formula, I guess, just like pounds of fucking sugar.
Yeah, for simple people.
Yeah, simple palates, I guess. The problem that I have with Trix is the fact that there is so many different flavors in the bowl. For me, it's not as good as Fruit Loops.
I just want to clarify that we're moving on. We're voting on a cereal that is 50% sugar, and we don't like a cereal that has too many flavors, not enough sugar. Okay,
Dave. I just want to let you know, it's just Kicks.
I like Kicks, dude.
Yes.
And let me clarify. I like Kicks because I would load it with like 2 tablespoons of sugar.
So like my vote is totally.
It's totally. I didn't hear what you said, but I already know what you voted for. So
say it again, Fossil.
Honey Smacks, Dave. Sugar Smacks, Honey Smacks, Golden Grams, whatever you want to call it. You good?
I think Golden Grams
Honey
is a
Smacks
different
Advances.
cereal.
Yuck.
It's very similar.
All right, here we go. Round 2, lightning round.
Yep, here we go.
Oh,
first,
this is round 2? Okay, cool.
Yep. So I'll dispense with a lot of the formalities.
Yes. Hit me.
Here we go. You ready?
Yep.
Reese's Puffs versus Frosted Flakes.
Fuck.
Ooh, these are totally different cereals.
Look,
very complete opposite of the spectrum.
Look, growing up, Frosted Flakes was my fucking jam. I brought that up a lot of the times in the first round. So I'm not going to drag this out. Frosted Flakes has the milk problem. It's not completely detrimental, but it's there. I think Reese's Puffs has held up better in milk, and over the years, I just don't buy Frosted Flakes like I used to, and I still buy Reese's Puffs to this day. And I think Reese's Puffs is a slightly more interesting cereal. I'm going Reese's Puffs.
I'll go next, and I'm going to make Josh decide. Frosted Flakes, simply because there's more you can do with it. I enjoy eating Frosted Flakes more than Puffs. I love Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, but having the chocolate peanut butter in my milk is not exactly hitting all the boxes for me. So I am a Frosted Flakes.
You guys want to go? You guys want to be adventurous? Chop up a little bit of banana and throw it into Reese's Puffs. Change your life. Reese's Puff vote.
Nice.
Uh-oh. There you go. All right. Reese's Puffs advance.
I don't remember any of these matchups, so I literally, this is like another surprise round for me. I have no idea what's coming.
Okay, so this is a tough one. This is a good one. Ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
Lucky Charms versus Captain Crunch.
That is a good one. Now, we didn't spend any time talking about Lucky Charms because it was an easy win in the first round. But again, a unique cereal on this bracket. As it does have marshmallows.
This is the only cereal
Yes.
that made it on our lists with marshmallows, correct?
Yeah.
And and it was the very first cereal to have marshmallows.
Now, as a young up and coming fat kid, you know, I would eat a lot of Lucky Charms outside of milk purely so I could pick out the marshmallows and leave the fucking cereal in the box because the cereal was shit and the marshmallows were, I mean, let's not play. The marshmallows are the main event of this fucking cereal.
Now,
as I grew older, I started to appreciate the cereal more, and the whole bite, like the texture with it. So this is one of the cereals that's gotten better for me as I've gotten older.
Yeah. We didn't talk like good point, Josh. We didn't really talk about the experience of eating Lucky Charms in the first round. I think Lucky Charms surprisingly holds up well in milk, longer than you would expect. Because you know it's kind of some unassuming, like the actual cereal is very unassuming. Just kind of looks like sad Cheerios basically, but they hold up well and they're frosted as well. And the marshmallows, they do deteriorate throughout the experience, but you know as long as you don't take your time, you usually get through them before they become just completely.
Yeah, once you get to the end, though, those things they become like there's no texture to them at all.
No, you can you can just mush right through them.
Yeah, somehow they're still kind of holding together in your bowl, but when you go to eat it, it's like you might as well just eat in a spoonful of milk.
It just falls apart.
Yeah.
So there is a time limit on Lucky Charms, but man, I really.
What was it going against?
I'll go out first.
What
Captain Crunch.
Oh.
And Captain Crunch is going to get my vote. Lucky Charms versus Captain Crunch. I'm going Captain Crunch.
I'm going Lucky Charms. I'm making you choose, Josh.
I'm also going Lucky Charms.
Oh, shit. Okay. Well.
Dang.
There wasn't much deliberation.
There you go.
Nope.
All right. Lucky Charm advances.
The one thing of, Lucky Charms I haven't tried is the all marshmallow version of it. For whatever reason, I never got around to trying that.
Is that still a thing?
I think it's like the McRib. I think it comes and goes.
Oops, all marshmallows.
Jesus.
Yeah, I gotta catch that at some point. I want to experience that.
Here's the bowl for the dehydrated marshmallows. Yummy.
Fuck that, dude. That sounds like a nightmare.
That just sounds like you'd be bouncing iron for sugar.
Sounds like the worst type of shit you're gonna take in your life.
All right, so next matchup. Alphabets versus Fruit Loops.
Fruit Loops, instant for me. I have no ties to Alphabets.
Yeah,
Alphabets was fun.
It's been real.
But yeah, Fruit Loops is just the better cereal.
Yep.
All right. Fruit Loops advances. All right, here we go. Cinnamon Toast Crunch versus Honey Smacks.
It's not even close.
It's not. I'm totally going to take Honey 100% every day, twice on Sunday. Let's go.
All right, so
these are both very unique. I mean, dude, I don't fucking Smacks, dude. Like as we've been talking about this, and I've been thinking about a bowl of Smacks. It's been ringing that nostalgia bell for me, man. Like it's just so unique. It's the only cereal like it. It's like a whatchamacallit bar. It's the only thing like it on this list.
I think the one thing with for me for Sugar Smacks, whether it advances or not, me personally, and it might have to do with the fact that there's just so much sugar. I love the way the milk tastes at the end.
You guys sound like cokeheads,
dude.
You know,
It's a different thing, man. I mean, the milk tastes fucking good.
I don't know if it's the high I'm feeling, but man, this is really good. It's like, well, yes, you just snorted a line. I don't know what to tell you. It's just like, yeah. I mean, do whatever y'all want. Like, if we're gonna, here's my thing. If you're gonna choose Honey Smacks to dethrone Cinnamon Toast Crunch, like, we should have just voted Raisin Bran Crunch in round 1. Like,
I mean, we didn't know what the next matchup was, Dave.
Let's just be honest with ourselves.
I mean, look,
do whatever you want. Do whatever you want.
Look, I'm
just gonna check out the rest of this bracket.
Look, here's the thing. At the end of the day, as unique as Smacks might be, I'm just not sure that it's better than a fucking fresh bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch with milk right on top of it, and that first fucking bite that you get with that ice cold milk, man. This is a lot closer vote than I had anticipated it being, but that's a Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
All right. So Cinnamon Toast Crunch advances.
Jason just hates this. This is like Harvester of Sorrow for Jason. I want to go back and listen to our Metallica bracket because I want to hear how miserable I was in like the last.
Oh yeah, this was Dave. All right, yeah, okay.
All right, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that's whatever. Yeah, I mean, I guess. Sure.
Look, the right song won. It doesn't matter.
It did, but whatever.
Creeping Death isn't the right song?
No, it wasn't. But
oh my god,
it's a good song, but it's
okay. Next, and we're to the final 4: Reese's Puffs versus Lucky Charms.
I love Reese's Puffs, and I was fighting to get it all the way over here, but I'm gonna switch my allegiance here, and I'm gonna go Lucky Charms. And look, this is a little bit of meta, but it's because personally, I don't think any other cereal has a chance at beating Cinnamon Toast Crunch other than Lucky Charms. And I want to put the best chance up against it. I want to have the best discussion. So that's a little bit meta gaming a little bit, but I'm going to vote Lucky Charms here.
Well, I'll make it easy for you, Josh. Like, I'm not a fan of Reese's Puffs. I would vote them over Cinnamon Toast Crunch any day of the week, twice on Sunday. But I'll take Lucky Charms because it's better than Reese's Puffs.
It's a Lucky Charms sweep.
Oh, there we go. All right.
I don't even remember what Cinnamon Toast Crunch is going up against.
Fruit Loops.
It's going up against Fruit Loops, Dave. Fruit Loops.
Man, this is a good look. It's a good matchup for sure. Like,
I mean, it's an easy matchup. Like Fruit Loops, 24 hours a day.
I'm going Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I'm not even gonna fuck around and pretend. Like, I don't even think Fruit Loops is the best fruity cereal in our list. So, I mean,
you're wrong.
Yeah, you are wrong. It is by far the best fruity cereal on this list.
I mean, okay. Look, that's why there's 3 of us.
So I vote Fruit Loops.
I think Dave may have underestimated here. He may have been trying to go meta. I mean, my question is, does Lucky Charms beat Fruit Loops?
If that's the way you want to go.
I mean, if that's the way you want to go, Josh, you should have just picked Raisin Bran Crunch.
The problem is I want to pick the right cereal, and that's Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Son of a bitches. All right, so Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
All right, look. I've been waiting to get to here.
What do we got? The 3-4 matchup?
Do we want to
do this is it.
Do we want to do the third best first?
Yeah, let's do 3-4 first.
Hold on, I'm waiting for this to.
So that would be Fruit Loops versus Reese's Puffs.
Yep. Bronze. Let's see. So you got Reese's Puffs versus Fruit Loops.
I'm gonna go Reese's Puffs here.
I'll go Fruit Loops.
I'll also go Fruit Loops. Okay. I've had Fruit Loops more in my life, and I just think they taste better. Well, that's not an indictment on Reese's Puffs, though, man. Reese's Puffs are fantastic.
I'm actually shocked Reese's Puffs made it this far.
Here we go.
It had the right line.
The championship. It's great to be here, and it was a great run while it lasted. Lucky Charms gets my vote. Let's go.
Oh, well, just to make it official, it's Lucky Charms versus Cinnamon Toast Crunch, right?
Yeah.
You didn't say the matchup.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It was great to see you, but it's time to go. Lucky Charms is the winner.
Look, hold on. So, I will say this is not an easy vote now that we've gotten here. Okay, this is not an automatic. Like, yes, Cinnamon Toast Crunch has been like an auto pick for me this entire time, more except for the first round. But Lucky Charms is really fucking good. I'm not gonna vote yet. I'm just gonna say that like Lucky Charms should not be underestimated. It is a unique experience, and the first
by far
and like the first
better cereal.
Calm down. And like the first 10-ish bites of it are really surprisingly good.
Has there ever been a Cinnamon Toast Crunch variant with marshmallows?
Never. That I am aware of. That's actually incorrect. There has been. I think it was temporary.
Like that would be an interesting thing for me. My only knock for Lucky Charms as I've eaten them throughout my lifetime is I still feel like the marshmallow ratio is wrong. Because what do you think it is right now? Marshmallows to cereal. You think it's like 20% marshmallows, 80% cereal?
I feel like it's more like, say, maybe 35, 65, 30, 70.
I need 50-50.
All right, guys, look, I might have fucked up because I'm sitting here ready. I was ready to just potentially go Lucky Charms here. But I Googled Cinnamon Toast Crunch with marshmallow, and I've just found a recipe for Cinnamon Toast Crunch marshmallow treat. I fucked myself up. This looks like ridiculously good.
I mean, it's the same thing as a Rice Krispies treat, just with Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I mean, I didn't even consider that as a possibility in my life.
Look, if I could get
anything into a Rice Krispies.
If I could get Lucky Charms with the 50-50 ratio, I don't need all marshmallows, but I want 50-50. Now, if you told me that was on the table, this would be more of a conversation point, but I'm going to go Cinnamon Toast Crunch. There's never a bite of Cinnamon Toast Crunch that I'm disappointed in. Sometimes I'm disappointed where I get one marshmallow and 10 pieces of fucking Lucky Charms.
All right, so it's on you, Dave.
Man, I really do like Lucky Charms, like legitimately. I feel like I've been sleeping on it. Like, I don't know. It's tough. Lucky Charms. I mean, look, Jason, try to sell me on Lucky Charms. I need you to try to sell me on it.
I mean, look, unfortunately, the best way I could sell this is the fact that it's not Cinnamon Toast Crunch. But you tell me, Dave. Okay, so look, I've had Cinnamon Toast Crunch enough to know the worst part about Cinnamon Toast Crunch is literally if you don't finish it before the actual Cinnamon Toast Crunch turns into like wet newspaper bottom of the. You never get that with Lucky Charms, even when the marshmallows are fully saturated, because basically they're just dehydrated marshmallows. They're just ready to go into your mouth and explode and disintegrate. That's the worst case scenario for Lucky Charms. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, if you even have a phone call, it's ruined. And you're left with basically wet paper.
Man. This is Josh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't jump on the train with you fast enough because it's going to be a Cinnamon Toast Crunch vote.
Let's go.
look.
It's a superior cereal, Dave.
Look, I don't feel good about this because, like, I feel a little bit dirty because Lucky Charms is a really good cereal. And you know what else? You know what else I feel bad about? If I had to pick a cereal right now to eat, it'd be Raisin Bran Crunch. Like, that's the fucking sad part. If I had Cinnamon Toast Crunch, which I don't, but if I had it in my pantry right now, I would still get the last bowl of Raisin Bran Crunch instead. So,
well, at least through all of this, Dave, we at least introduced you to a fucking great cereal.
You did.
Yeah.
You did. Lucky Charms almost had me.
Yeah.
Almost had me.
It was close.
Sorry, Fossil.
It was a photo finish.
I would say
Look, look, I'm not like Dave and be like, oh, the wrong cereal fucking won. Because I know that people love Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Like, of all the cereals on here, it's like near the top in total sales. So I know it's a popular cereal. I have just never liked it.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Like I look, it was kind of a favorite going in. I knew it was going to get to the end, and I was hoping that whatever went against it pull off the upset.
I will say this: had it gone against Raisin Bran Crunch, not in the first round, but even just the second, I just wasn't ready to vote off Cinnamon Toast Crunch in the first round.
Yeah,
that's the biggest problem. If it had been in round 2 or the semifinal or the final, I might have just given the nod to Raisin Bran Crunch for me. Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that would have been it for you guys, but
I mean, I know I would have picked Raisin Bran Crunch,
but I just couldn't. I couldn't vote out Cinnamon Toast Crunch in the first round because it deserved more than that. So.
Hey, look, whatever your favorite cereals are out there, whether it's Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Lucky Charms,
or
Fruit
Kix.
Loops. Yeah.
okay.
Here's what you need to do now for the next week. Pour yourself a big bowl of that, sit down and watch Do the Right Thing. That's 1989 Spike Lee joint, because that's going to be the next movie we're talking about on the AFI list this coming Saturday. Excuse me, I guess whenever it decides to drop. But we're going to talk about it next Saturday. Hey, and look, watch out, because the Blade Runner podcast, it's going to come out.
Look,
at some point.
While we're talking about it, you may have noticed we've had some audio issues we've been dealing with.
We're working on it,
both on the podcast and somewhat on YouTube. We've been working through that, and we hope that we've alleviated that.
But we will be putting out the Blade Runner podcast. Audio quality is rough.
Yeah, we're just going to get it out there.
Suggest you tune in to YouTube if you want to catch our breakdown.
Yeah.
Three guys.
The audio is better on the stream.
Yeah. We always suggest, in general, if you want to catch us ahead of time or ahead of the podcast crowd, you can always catch us every Saturday night, unless we happen to record differently, which you'll know. But it'll be Saturday nights around between 8:30 and 8:45, live Central on YouTube. Central Time, yes. So just search 3 Guys 1 Mic, and you'll see our ugly faces there. So,
I mean, I look pretty dapper.
Sorry, not 3 Guys 1 Mic, 3 Guys and a Mic.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Well, in the meantime, watch Do the Right Thing.
Yes, you got a week.
All right,
this is our 96th podcast. We got 4 to go.
Yeah.
The big 100.
Yeah.
One double lot. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Take it easy, everybody.
Later.
Live long and prosper.